God, we have God and God alone. So he's the only one that will take care of us, as we all know. And I like to say, there is something you could give to others. And when you give it, it's given right back to you. It's worth $1,000,000, but it doesn't cost a dime. It has a lasting effect, but it doesn't take much time. What it is? She said loud. It's a smile. And so I would like for you to share this God blessed gift that God has given us to the person next to you. So let's just share that with them. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it is. And God gave this to us. And did you know that smiling, you use less muscles than frown? And smiling and laughing is like a medicine. It works. Hey, now, as we know, changes bring new life. When we're changed, you'll see something different. We cannot be changed and see the same thing. We have the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is with us, He's in us, is among us. And I know He's going to help us to do what we can to live a healthy life. Matthew 24, it talks about things that will happen before Jesus comes again. And if we look around in this world right now, around us, do we see those things happening? Are they the same? Are they worse? Are they better? Like, what is it as we looked? Now, how can we maintain a health physically, socially, mentally, and spiritually in this time when all this is happening around? With all these changes, how can we be healthy? What is health? Now, Ijoma said a few things I have here that you may see there. And I've started out with the World Health Organization. She said it. The World Health Organization defined health as a state of physical, social, and mental well-being, and not just the absence of diseases. Now, I will add to that it is physical, social, mental, and also spiritual well-being, and not just the absence of diseases. And mental health is a mind in which a person copes and you can adjust to stresses every day. And this state of mind is determined by three things: your childhood and your lifestyle. All that makes up your mental health. Now, your physical health is when it's achieved when your body is fit and free of all diseases. And this is influenced by your genes and your lifestyle. Now, your social health is achieved through satisfying relationship. Socially healthy people will respect others. They will be open, they will be warm, and they will like and they will trust people. And that's a definition of your social health. Your emotion health is not merely absence of negative emotion, but is the ability to function and adapt appropriately to different circumstances. Emotionally healthy people, they're able to give and receive from others without being overly worried or feeling rejected. Now, what is spiritual health? Spiritual health is to us, it's believing in God, and we know that. To some people, it's the belief of a greater one. But it says here that people who are spiritually healthy, they have a clear understanding of what they believe to be right or wrong. And their beliefs always reflect, and their behavior always reflects their belief. So that's how you're judged if you're spiritually healthy. You know, Helen G. White, in the book Ministry of Healing, she talks about health, and she also talks about the body, the mind. She said the mind and the body goes together. When one is affected, the other sympathizes. So we all know that your mental health has a lot to do with your physical health. And if you notice that it says that when you are stressed, you notice it comes out in your body somehow, because mental health is so connected and linked to your physical health. Where the mind goes, the body follows. If you think that you're not going to be well, say you get sick, then chances are you may not. But if you get sick today and you tell yourself positively, mentally, you are going to get better, you will get better. So, and it says that when our mind is at ease, our body will be at ease. When our mind is at dis-ease, her body gets dis-ease. That means we have disease. So when your mind has to do a lot with your body. I could do that in just a few by saying, say for example, you have a stroke, and that is a physical stroke, or over a period of time, some people get depressed, which has to do with their mind. And the people who are not mentally, say they have something wrong, they can get physically, for example, dementia, Alzheimer's. You forget to cook or to eat, then you'll get a physical, something wrong with you physically. So you see how the mind and the body does connect. Good health is being a steward of God's resources. Your body, my body, belongs to God, and God dwells there. And so it's a temple of God. So we are indeed to take care of it. Good health, it helps us to focus, to be more concentrated in God's work. If you are physically healthy, you'll be more capable of doing God's work and helping people in the church, at home, or wherever you are. So therefore, the Lord wants us to be healthy. Physical fitness and mental fitness, it goes right on in hand. So it says here, we all need to watch our thoughts. They become our words. You watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. So, and it just started from just a little thought. So we need to be careful. How does emotions turn into disease? And Ijoba said a bit about it. And I'm going to say a little. And it says, if, for example, there is a fire right here just this minute, we all will be running and our blood pressure goes up and our heart rate and everything happens. And that adrenaline that pumps in our bodies, it makes all these things happen. And we all know what happened in situations like this. Over a period of time, the fire is gone, everything is nice and smooth, and everything's well. Our body just go right back normal, and we're okay. Now, what I am trying to say to you now is that when you are, one, unforgiven, you also remorse, you're working under a stressful situation, you're anxious, you're overly stressed, and this is happening days, weeks, months, years, and all that. That same amount of adrenaline that we just saw that pumps into you in that emergency situation, that is also pumping into your bloodstream over a period of time. And this is why, if you're taking medication for your blood pressure or for your diabetes, and you notice it is not working, it used to work before and now it is not working, please check your stress level, because that is the reason. And it does, and it is the reason, and it works. So please check that, because it should work if you're taking that medication and it's been working. But so that's what happened. And that's pumping. And over a period of time, a high blood pressure becomes your norm, because that's what your body is used to doing. Ijoba talks about forgiveness this morning. She did an excellent job at her presentation. She talks about forgiveness. I just like to leave one thing to add to hers. And it says that forgiveness, if you have somebody and you don't forgive them, you know what that's saying? You probably heard the saying before. Not forgiving a person is like you or me or whoever drinking poison and expect the person to die. So I heard that and I thought that's such a great definition of forgiveness, to show that how much we really need to do that. Because once you forgive and talk about it, you feel light and your body, you'll be better. Um, Now, it is also said that when situation happens, it's not the situation, it's your interpretation or your perception of what happened and not the situation. Think about that. That if something happened, it's not exactly, it's how you react. You know how two person will be at the scene of an accident and one person will react in a different way. So it's just how you perceive it. Emotions and breathing. You notice the connection. If you're anxious or you're in anxiety, your breathing will change. So check your emotions and your breathing. And breathing could cause diseases. Now, one thing here is know yourself. How well do you know yourself? Like some people would say, I don't know why my mind is racing. I cannot sleep. I don't know why I do this. I don't know where my habits come from. There are a lot of I don't know. I don't know. And we spend a lot of time studying to be doctors, teachers. We spend a lot of time in those education and we're well aware of all. We're so educated. But do we know ourselves? So it says that take a journal. Journal what happened this time, how you feel, what you did, and then journal yourself so you can know. Because you cannot change and, and improve something that you don't understand. So we need to understand yourself. What triggers this behavior? Why do I feel this way? So we need to take a note of that. What pattern of behavior do you have? Are you, this is what I did. I'll share this with you. Over the years and over time, you know, your mind or your guts will tell you something. You have that extra sense, and it says, don't do this, or don't go this way, or don't say this. What I do and what I've been doing over the time is when that happens, I will go right ahead and do whatever my mind tells me to do. I will see the results and see what happened. Then another time, I will get this, I should do this, and I would not do it. Or I will wait for a while to do it, and I will see the results. And so, therefore, over a period of time, for years, I've been doing this for a while, I could tell when something told me something and I feel it. I know now if I should just rush and do it or I should just stop. That takes a lot of conscious practice over time. So try and see how well you know yourself, know your strengths, know your weaknesses. It's like another thing to know is if you're having stress at home and problems at home, you had to go to work. When you get to work, I've done this. At the door, when I get to work at the door, leave your home at the door and pick up work and focus and work and do your best and do your job. And then when you're going home at the door, I pick up home and forget work. And that takes conscious effort, but you could do it because that's how you could function well in the place where you're at. Now, another thing to help is helping others. When we help others, you find that it's really beneficial to yourself also. So we should always find time to help others. Because, for example, giving Bible study, when I'm giving Bible studies, you're helping that person to know about God and the Bible. Not only, you're also helping yourself because it's strengthening what you know. And so, therefore, you should help the person because they need to be helped, but you're also helping yourself. And also, don't forget hope. There's power in hope. So, how do we keep the hope going, the hope burning? This is one way you could do it. It says, if you have a situation or a mountain over here, you said to yourself, this situation is bad, but there's hope. I will make it through. And then you look at this mountain over here and it's very high. Things are so bad. You don't know what to do, where to go. You just said, there's hope. Please look at the mountain over there, a smaller mountain. And you said, I climbed that mountain before. And I am thankful that I'm a mountain climber. And so I can climb this mountain too. Things will work out. So you need to look at it that way in a very strong way. Trust the Lord because faith and works goes together. Yeah. We have to realize that health is not a destination. It's a journey. So it's not that we're healthy today and that's it. No, it's a journey that we take daily. When we get up in the morning, you have to consciously face the day with joy, with a smile, with God. Okay. To witness and not receive. This is like a saying you may hear, you heard or not. To witness and not receive. If someone is angry with you or upset, or you walk there and say, this room right now is very peaceful. Right now it's peaceful here. And someone walk in here and try to make it as unhappy as they can. What do? You're witnessing that, but you're not going to perceive it. You are not going to start getting angry and upset and doing what the person is doing because you're in control of your emotion and God will help you. Okay. Our physical environment, it has to do with our health. Therefore, we need to make sure that our physical environment is healthy so her body can be healthy too. For example, if you may look at a car has your health. Your car is running smoothly and it's fine. And so you're happy, you're doing nothing. And then one day, the engine blew on the highway. At that time, your experience, you look back and you said, oh, I should have been maintaining this, or I should have. Likewise, our bodies. We think that we're doing fine, you're feeling healthy. How well are we maintaining our bodies? We maintain our cars by making sure it's tuned up. Do we tune up our bodies? So we need to make sure we do that. And you know, sometimes you're driving and you notice the gauge for the gas is low, and you go, well, I think this could take me home. I'll get home. And then once the gas is done, the car stops. And the same thing with our bodies. Once we push it, it stops at a certain point. Um, when to drink? You know, they said you should drink a lot of water, but there's one time you should not drink water. And do you know what that time is? Oh, what was that? She said bedtime. When you're eating, right. You should not drink water when you're eating. Do you know why? Because that salivary fluids in your mouth, digestion starts in your mouth, and that's there to help with the food to mold it so when it gets to your stomach. And if you drink the water, it just washes it down. And when it gets to the stomach, it doesn't digest as God has planned for it to be. So, and also it says, if you should not eat between meals neither. If you feel very hungry between your meals, drink a glass of water. And if you're feeling better and not hungry after you drink the water, you weren't hungry in the first place, you were thirsty. So there's a difference between hunger and thirst. Okay. Now, when you're chewing your food, you should chew it slowly and thoroughly for it to be digested properly. I remember when I was growing up as a child back home, they used to tell you, chew your food 32 times before you swallow it. But I know that's not possible. But it is important to do that for proper. Now, I'm just touching the physical part. Hypertension. I know the tumor talks about that. Did you know that hypertension, high blood pressure, is a silent killer? About 35 millions of Americans have hypertension. 25 million of borderline. And therefore, people with hypertension are 3 times most likely to have a heart attack and 8 times most likely to have a stroke. So hypertension can hit anyone, no respecter of person or place. So, and it's a silent killer. So make sure you are really, truly watching your salt intake, your fruit and vegetables, eat lots of fruits and vegetables, drink lots of water, and most of all, exercise. Your body was made to move. If we don't move it, you lose it. You know, right, I agree, it's agreed. Exactly. You see, your muscles, if you don't use them, you will lose them. Have you noticed that if you're healthy now, you break a hand, you see my hand? I broke my hand, so it's kind of little right here. And it was in the cast for a long time trying to heal. When it was finished, when they took it out of the cast, this side was so much smaller than this side because the muscles weren't using and you lose it. And like you also lose your brain muscles. If you don't use your brain, you lose that ability. So it's best to start using it. Cancer. Reduce your risk for cancer. So make sure that you are building your immunity. You're having your fruits and your vegetables, your water. You're maintaining a sense of exercise. You're eating a lot of vegetables because cancer, you need to reduce your stress. You need to have a healthy outlook in life, be positive. Okay. Then I'm getting to sleep. Sleep is very, very important because if you don't sleep, that's one of the symptoms for depression. And it also doesn't make you think as clearly. So it's very important to go to bed at the right time. Go to bed an hour before midnight, as Ellen G. White said. It's an hour before midnight is worth 2 hours after. Um, did you know that if you go to bed on a full stomach, you may awake tired even if you had the full hours of sleep? You know why? Because a full stomach can interfere with the rest because your body is too busy processing the digestion done to rest. And you are sleeping because you need to rest and to repair those tissues that you've been using all day. And so if you don't sleep, that's one way you're not healthy. Yes. A heavy meal before bedtime is give extra stress on your heart. So therefore, it's important. And that's why they said 52% of people have heart attack during the night or when they're resting. Now, the Sabbath. It says, when you say, I don't have time for a day of rest, you're saying you're too busy to obey God and too busy to take care of yourself. It says that you should take this Sabbath a day of rest. God made the Sabbath for a day of rest for us. Now, how can you, it says courage, hope, faith, sympathy, and love. This promote health and it prolong life. A contented mind, a cheerful spirit is health to the bone and strength to the soul. Proverbs 17:22. A merry heart doeth good like medicine, but a broken spirit will dry the bones. Now, when we look around and see this world, how can we have a contented mind, a cheerful spirit, and a merry heart while trying to manage stress, anger, all the challenges, and all the things in this world? You know, I'm going to say that we all have tool, equipment in her bodies, as her bodies. You may not think of it this way, but guess what? We have it. So let's start on your brain. What can you do? How can your brain help you? It says you should start looking at the positive qualities in others and share it with them. And they will also see it in you. You should think about the positive qualities and how it can benefit you, yourself, and others. You should identify your strengths and your weaknesses and work at them. Learn to be at peace with yourself. And you should get to know what makes you happy, what makes you sad. The next thing we have on ourselves that we can use is your eyes. So you should stop. And these are things that will help you to maintain some health. Look at the beauty in nature. You look at the beauty in yourself and others. You read books that will fill your spirit with comforting and encouraging things. You should be careful of what you look for on TV. Don't look on sad things, especially when you're going to bed at night. That's not good. Now, you have your ears. This is the next one. It's just doing our body parts to see how you can actually use them for the good of yourself and others. Listen carefully while others are speaking. Ask questions to clarify what they just said if you don't understand. Because, you know why? Did you know that a simple misunderstanding, misinterpretation, this could cause an argument. It could cause something that's unforgiveness. And in that, you get remorse, you get different things, and over a period of time, this could lead to you being sick. It could even lead to death. So it's very important to do that. Listen to nature, to the birds. Take time out for the birds. Listen to the trees and even the raindrops. Listen to classical music, and that will help to calm your bodies. Smell back to your nose. You're smelling the freshness of nature and flowers. Smell the aroma of your cooking. Use your mouth. Your mouth is very important. And it says, positive, comforting words at all times. Take time to think thoroughly before you speak. Colossians 4, verse 6 says, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that he may know how he ought to answer another person. Choose your words wisely. Try and remain calm in all conflicts. Anger is an emotion that you must not have. It says, anger, if you're always angry with someone, you need to find out what is supporting that, what's behind that. So therefore, this is what it says you could do. Sometimes anger is the supporting factor behind that is the insecurity. That means this person is insecure and they're just using that anger to, to feel good. What it says is that over a period of time, you will find that that anger is not helping you to feel good. All it's doing is just making others notice what a frightened child you are inside. And it doesn't make you a strong man or a woman. So we need to look into that and notice that that's what we should do. Mhm. And so that's one for word. And it says, be careful of how and what you say, your tone of voice, your nonverbal expression. It says, eat well with your soul and mind. Ephesians 4:29, it says, let no communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to use of edifying the person. So that's what we need to do. And your face, says smile and reduce stress and anger. And with your hands, it says hug a person, but make sure you ask permission if it's okay to hug. Your feet, walk 30 minutes per day. Do something, exercise at all times. This is very important. And rest with your body. It says rest your body. Always make sure you take time, take vacation. Try with family and support family and friends. And it says here that 3 John 1 verse 2, it says, beloved, I wish above all that you prosper and be in good health, just like your soul prospered. And don't forget, John 14:27, it says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let it be afraid. But the Lord didn't stop there. He gave us verse 18, and it says, I will never leave you comfortless. That means God will never leave you comfortless. He's with you. I know your time's going, so I'm checking. Now, I don't know if you ever heard the story about the caterpillar and also the man with the butterfly. So there's the butterfly. This man found a cocoon and he looked at it and he took it up and he's watching it. And he noticed the butterfly was trying to get out, so part was coming out. And then he wanted to help him. So you know what he did? He took the scissors and he clipped it, and the butterfly came out. And now he's watching for the butterfly to fly. And the butterfly, as the young man over there shaking his head, it didn't fly. You know why? I'll let you find out. I know why, but that's your homework. Fly. It's trying to find out why the butterfly did not fly. There's a main reason to it. Okay, because of time, I'm just going to go straight to one more thing. I just look at the time and I go, oh, is it that late already? Okay, I'll miss that. I was going to do the process of change, how to get you to change. I also have a schedule for a healthy lifestyle. I'll give it to Ijoba. She could pass it around. So I won't go through that. And I'll just do one more thing to close. In closing, I just want to share this with you. Let's get this. I have more. I'll just skip. In closing, I'd like to leave you with this autobiography. It's from Lynn Clark, and it's in chapters. I want you to think about it, think about what I'm going to say, and see if you could fit yourself in it, if it applies to you in any way. And this is how it goes. It says, chapter 1, I walk down the street. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I said, walking on the street, I fell in. I am lost. I am helpless. It is not my fault. And it takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I didn't get it. I didn't see it. I fall in again. I cannot believe I'm in the same place, but it's not my fault. It still takes a while to get out. Chapter 3, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it's there. I still fall in. It's a habit, but my eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5, I walk down a different street. Now, brothers and sisters, it is my prayer today that we all will walk down a different street towards a healthier life, physically, socially, mentally, and spiritually. God be with you.